Good day, everyone. I'm delighted to have this opportunity to talk to you about a journey of intellectual curiosity. Uh, I, I was thrilled to hear that I'm one of the 3 AMA fellows for the 2022 year. So what I've decided is to have a very brief agenda that allows me to thank AMA selection committee, all the colleagues of mine who nominated me. I would like to thank some of the various institutions, Virginia Tech, where I got my MBA and Ph.D., my first job at University of Miami, my colleagues there, my current job, Babson College, and my colleagues there and administrators who have provided great support. Other institutions where I've had appointments like Maastricht, Monterrey Tech, University of Bath, SSC. Other parts of the agenda that I would briefly talk about is some domains, the importance of having a supportive, collaborative network, opportunities to disseminate your research, both academically and in practice, giving back to the community, and some concluding remarks. So in terms of domains, I was very fortunate to study pricing under Ken Monroe, and I focused on the roles of reference prices, on internal reference prices, value, and so forth. And I was also very interested in understanding how these reference prices have the opportunity to inform consumers, but at the same time, if the reference prices are not genuine or they're inflated, they can potentially deceive consumers. And I sort of studied this phenomena both empirically as well as wrote review papers as well as conducted a meta-analysis in this domain. I followed this up with working with a variety of colleagues and collaborators on semantic cues and discount sizes at University of Miami, and then price matching guarantees and other types of guarantees with folks both at Babson and other institutions, and more recently with colleagues like Abhijit Guha and others looking at elements of how you present price information. I also, this sort of led into my second major domain, which is retailing. I worked with Michael Levy and Julie Baker and others on atmospheric elements, which was a very interesting journey that started from collaborating with Julie, who I met at the doctoral consortium, and was an area that she was very excited about and got me excited to work in this domain. And it got me started to think of other retailing elements such as merchandise and how you display merchandise and how you look at store formats, studied format research with Dinesh Gauri as well as Kusam Alavadi and Yuma, and then more recently looking at more in-store technologies like mobile technology, kiosk technology, handheld scanner technology, projection technology. A lot of this has come with working with Jens Nordfeldt, as well as working with Anne Roggeveen and Stephanie Noble and Venki Shankar and Carl Philipp and so forth. And then the third domain was services. Got the opportunity to work with Professor Parshuraman on service quality issues, service technology issues, worked with both colleagues at Miami and Babson and others on service recovery issues, more recently looking at service robots with Maura and Scott and Martin Mend and Jenny Van Doon and Ilana, and then finally looking at how people complain online using various kinds of social media sites and how firms respond to these complaints, whether they're public chats or private chats, etc. And an underlying theme of all of this tends to be technology. And so I've had a long history of being intrigued by technology and studying various elements of it. And most recently started to study, besides robotics, started to study artificial intelligence. All of this has benefited from a tremendously supportive network of friends and colleagues. Starting with my mentor, Kent Monroe. I'm truly grateful for his mentorship for all these decades, as well as guiding me on issues on pricing, as well as on meta-analysis research. Then I've had been very fortunate to work with a lot of wonderful young colleagues and students who are now faculty members at various institutions on a variety of topics. And I identified a few of them: Philip, Riley, Lissa, Francisco, Scott. And then I have had a host of colleagues from Virginia Tech days to Miami days to at Babson, like Anne and Rogovine and Lauren Beetlesparker, then collaborators at Maastricht or Bath or SSE or Monterrey Tech, or a host of colleagues who I've been fortunate to meet at conferences or at thought leader events and strike up interesting conversations that have resulted in interesting pieces of work. And all of this, in all these work, is a theme of having relevance. The questions have to be relevant, and where possible, a multi-method approach to addressing them. And for this multi-method approach, I benefited from support from MSI, support from a number of firms, including IRI, that has provided great panel data sets, and ICA and other Scandinavian retailers that have provided us opportunities to collect field data. This sort of allows one to disseminate research by doing talks both at academic conferences and at practitioner conferences, and then publish in a variety of journals and chapters in books, ultimately publishing them in books. I've been fortunate to write a number of Principles of Marketing editions of 2 different titles with Michael Levy, had a number of editions both in US and outside with Professor Parshuraman and Professor Krishnan on marketing research, and work with Michael and Bart on retail management, and then my own book on retail marketing management. And finally, all of this results in helping me be providing my students the most latest content, whether they're undergrads, grads, MBAs, exec MBAs, or executive programs. And the give and take with the students is great. You learn different things from an 18, 19-year-old, and you learn very different set of problems when you are interacting with practitioners. But all of that helps you get to the next problem and the next project. And finally, giving back. Throughout my career, I've tried to review for journals. I was fortunate to co-edit Journal of Retailing and edit a number of special issues, work with organizations and serve on various committees, work with other institutions and nonprofits such as Amigo, which deals with autism, education and care, which is very near and dear to my heart. And in conclusion, I want to thank my family, my parents, my wife, my kids, my brother, uncles and aunts, and my friends, because they have provided me a tremendous amount of support and encouragement over the last 50 plus years. And in conclusion, I want to thank AMA, thank all of you again for this wonderful honor. And I would like to congratulate my fellow cohort mates, Jan Haider, who's done phenomenal work in the inter-organizational and channels area, and Eli Jones for all his contributions to the sales area, as well as leading a number of great institutions. So thank you again for this wonderful honor, and I wish you all a great day and hopefully a great conference.